Tonight on Poker After Dark,
Feel free to not say a GD word.
7 combatants have been whittled down to 2.
Good luck, man.
As 538's Nate Silver
Trying to play some big bet poker.
and Poker Pro Maria Ho
Love to see a flop with this hand.
are heads up for over $28,000. Find out who wins next.
It's the suspense.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, and Poker After Dark in the heart of the Strip. We're here at Aria Hotel and Casino for the conclusion of our 5K Sit and Go. I'm your host, Alina Jad. Veronica Brill down on the floor, giving us insight from the remaining players. And let's take a look at the final 2 chip counts for those remaining players, brought to you by GGPoker. Maria Ho has a 3-2 chip lead to start heads-up action, and as we mentioned, the winner takes home over $28K. Both players have locked up $11,500. And so heads up begins. Can the amateur Nate Silver, who is respectable as a poker player, but certainly not as accomplished as his opponent Maria Ho, take her down, overcome this starting chip deficit? Certainly going to be a difficult proposition if Maria is going to hold over him with hands like this. Ace-Jack against Queen 10.
67.
Raise the 67 total.
And Silver is certainly self-aware, and at some point he is going to wonder whether or not this isn't Maria simply attempting to exert her will here and set a tone in this match.
Cool.
So some later implications potentially for Silver. Were he to fold, decides that he will call, show that he's not going to be moved off of hands, just in case Maria was up to no good here. And the 10-6 deuce favors him. Top pair, good kicker, 140 in the middle.
$48.
At 48.
Call.
Call.
Maria follows through for 48,000, gets called and spanks an ace on the turn with 236K in the middle. A dream card for her. All options really available to Maria here. She could check in the hopes that maybe she induces Silver to bet an inferior hand. She could throw something milky out there. Looks like she's going to opt for the latter.
76.
As she measures out 76,000.
Call.
Call.
And again, Silver says call. Needs real help with just 11% equity. Is there a queen or a 10 in there? No. And after she's been called on 2 streets, Maria understands that Nate has something. And that something was willing to call 48 on the flop and 76 on the turn. How much will it be willing to call on the river? And is there any chance that it has ace-jack beat?
Check. Checks down. This is Jack plays.
Maria opts to check, and Silver all too happy to check back, and that showdown he'll be disappointed, but certainly happier than he would have been had Maria fired another barrel and forced him to an even bigger decision.
Blinds are at 4, 8, and 8.
And adding insult to injury on the heels of losing that massive pot. The blinds go up to 4 and 8,000, which means Silver is down to just 26 bigs, just like that. Terrific start to heads-up play for Maria.
You're 4 this hand. 4, 8. Raise 16. Call.
Min raise on the button with the real goods. Price is right for 8-6 to take a whack, and it turns into 2 pair on the 9-high flop, which gives Maria top pair with the backdoor nut spades.
Seconds. At 14.
All in.
All in.
Yeah, check raise all in here from Silver, and with such a draw-heavy board, you wonder how Maria is going to react. Obviously, this is a huge pile over the top of the 14K. Is the risk reward there?
Time.
I guess the question is, do you have a pair and a straight draw or 2 pair?
By the numbers, Maria should be getting better than 2-1.
It's like 200K, right? Like I kind of know because of my stack, but
For this call to add up. And she hit the nail on the head, speculating as to whether or not this move is 2 pair or pair and a straight draw.
it's kind of like a flip. If you have a pair and a straight draw, equity-wise, I have 25 seconds, yeah. I don't know, Nate.
Good fold.
I don't think you have a flush draw, so I mean, you could have a pair and flush draw. It's very similar to pair and a straight draw, but because of a card I had, it's a little less likely you had a flush draw.
Yeah.
So you either had a pair and a straight draw or you had 2 pair, but you had pretty good. I mean, I guess you could have had a straight. I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I'm just talking to myself.
I'm trying to make you, you
feel
know,
free to
you'll
not
find out
say.
in-
Feel free to not say a GD word.
Poker After Dark is brought to you by Roman. Simple, straightforward, the way healthcare should be. Visit GetRoman.com to learn more. Manscaped. Don't gamble with your grooming tools. Visit Manscaped.com today for the best in men's grooming. And Poker Go. Get in the game at PokerGo.com. Well, Maria put in a tough spot, but found the correct fold. Let's see if Nate Silver can continue to run hot.
Raise 18 total.
$18 to go, says Maria with the king nine. Silver left with the lesser of the holdings pre yet again, but not post as he comes up with 8s and 4s. Not great texture for this king high, but it is hard to flop a pair. So in position, Maria will take a stab. $13K is the number.
Raise 45 total.
Silver not going to slow play it. Check raises to 45,000 right away. This will presumably end the affair. And indeed it does. If you hadn't already figured it out, Silver, a big Tigers fan, and not unlike Daryl Morey of the Sixers, who was here earlier in the action. He too, a big-time statistician that really made a name for himself during the 2008 presidential election when he correctly predicted the results of the primaries and the presidential winner in 49 of 50 states. Then, the only tick ahead of that he could have possibly accomplished. He went 50 for 50 in 2012.
Raise 22 total.
Named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in 2009. And that is an elusive accolade, to say the least. Baseball and statistics have always gone hand in hand, famously demonstrated in the Hollywood film Moneyball, which told the story of the Oakland A's. Starred Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill in an Academy Award-winning performance for Hill. And speaking of performances, Maria has put a nice one together for herself here as she continues to try to whittle away at Silver stack, but this is not going to be the pot
All in.
All in.
in which to get that done. Although Silver showing some impatience here as he piles it in there with the two kings. He certainly demonstrated that he understands the value of slow play with a couple of aces. He got Daryl Morey with king-queen suited to pile it in there on a king-high flop. Busted him. But here heads up. Perhaps a little less comfortable.
Raise 27 total.
27 to go from ace-9 on the button.
Call.
King-5 wants to see the flop. Which doesn't connect with either player.
Check. Check.
Two quick checks. Now a third 3 on the turn. Ace high still best.
Check.
And still no betting. Oh, and a 5 on the end. Tags Maria. And she'll be able to hunt a little value here.
26,000.
Milky 26K, and as played, Silver's hand is just under-repped.
Call. Use 4 5s.
And he might regret having checked 2 streets to that king high. Maria squeezing a little value.
Stay close. More Poker After Dark after this. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Strip, where Veronica Brill caught up with Nate Silver to see what he's been up to.
What are you up to in regards with poker?
So I'm working on a book about gambling and risk, and the first chapter in the book is about poker. It's not meant to be an autobiographical book, but like a good way to first of all, I really enjoy poker. It was important to me in the pandemic to play in some Zoom home games and so forth, right? You know, but it's I don't know, I really enjoy the challenge of live poker tournaments in particular. It's a good way to meet people and immerse yourself in the world of professional poker, right? In a way that if you're just kind of on the sidelines, you wouldn't do as much. You play enough tournaments to kind of wind up playing against lots of interesting players, have good stories to tell, even kind of pick up some of the Phil Hellmuth kind of white magic in terms of having better sense for reads and stuff like that. And so it's fun. I really enjoy it.
I've never heard a statistician tell me about picking up on white magic and reads.
No, but the thing is, if you can poker is, I think, still mostly a behavioral game, right? You're supposed to you're observing people's behavior and you're making adjustments based on that, right? Now, it's good to have a default gear where you're playing kind of more of a game theory style, right? But the way that the best players make money in poker is, I think, through understanding the mistakes that players make, through picking up on mannerisms. And I have that skill at a level 1, if other people are a level 10, but to have a little bit of that, I think, is valuable, and you're not trying to play a pure GTO style. But again, if I'm up against Maria and Scott heads up for first place, right, then I might default into more of my best, probably not very good imitation of a GTO style, because I acknowledge they're better than me, and if I'm trying to exploit them, then there's a better than average chance that they're exploiting me back, and so you're just kind of adjusting based on kind of who the opponents are.
It's just hard to know what we need, what's our special sauce to make poker a little more watchable or a little more exciting, because it is it's there is a lot of that already, but for something like the main event, it's what's the secret to it? Deserves
the commentators matter a lot, right? And the production values matter a lot.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Me too.
Raise 20 total.
All in.
All in.
Goodbye, 6-3.
It's just that I don't feel like it gets the hype that it deserves, considering how much money is on the line. We're playing for, in the main event specifically, we're playing for more money than 98% of any other event or sporting, whether it's a sporting event or a mind sport or whatever the case may be. And I think that people just don't. People all say
it's tough because in a smaller player pool, you can hype individual players and enough kind of, but in the main event, you're lucky if you have
one
notable person. Yeah.
Call.
Lower end of Maria's range here, would prefer to just raise and take it.
Raise 35 total.
Testing Silver's stickiness.
people say to me all the time, even knowing what I've done for all these years, that I'm a poker player, they'll be like, I didn't realize you guys are playing for that much money. I'm like, yeah, it's surprising that the average person doesn't actually know kind of the magnitude of something like.
My parents would do the opposite, right? I had 400K chips at this
Oh, they thought you had
Venetian event were like, Nate, you had
$400,000.
$400,000 and you only cashed for 9,000. What happened?
Yeah, that's funny.
Call.
All in.
All in.
Nope. No, thank you.
Second time pocket fours have been willing to spin the wheel. And the second time they've gotten rejected. Back and forth we go. Heads up here in this 5K sit and go that began with 7 players. These two, the only of those 7 to get paid. Originally, the prize pool was $25,000 for first, $10K for second. And then, courtesy of the rebuy from Randall Emmett, things slid up for both slots from there. Maria Ho, currently the overwhelming chip leader, better than a 3-1 lead heading into this pot.
Check.
With the blinds at 5 and 10K. The stacks grow lean,
That's 15.
and each pot becomes more and more meaningful. Gut shot straight draw for Silver, who defended against the min-raise open on the button from Maria. She follows through for 15K. He'll make the call. Board pairs and brings a third club on the turn. Silver's check brings a check back from King High, which is good. 10 high with no real showdown value. And now Nate needs to summon the courage to try to take this one. And this is a significant portion of his 188K that he is sticking out there right now. Very credible.
95,000.
Well done by Nate as he shows his fight.
Nate, 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 Nate. That was 5 Nates. Next time, it's gonna be 6. Every time I have to fold and I
Trying to
can't-
play
I
some
don't go to
big bet poker for viewers at home.
It's gonna be 6 Nates.
Despite running into some very tough spots, Maria has managed to keep her chip lead as both players have been playing well thus far. Sending it back down to the action now.
5, 10.
Sorry.
Call.
King 9 in the big for Maria. Checks back after Silver limps 5-6. And out flops her on the 8-5-4 board. Middle pair and a gutty.
Check. The 13.
13K follow through for Silver on the heels of a limp. And Maria wants to take a peek at a turn, which magically turns into a 9 of diamonds,
Check.
giving her the best hand. She checks it.
Check.
Silver checks back, and now running 9s give her trips, but give Silver a better sense of having a winner, perhaps.
That's 60.
60K bet on the river.
I call.
Call.
And that call will cost Silver roughly a third of his stack. And that one's certainly going to sting, as he will wonder what on earth Maria was doing calling that flop, but obviously there has to be some balance whereby she doesn't concede every single board.
Good bet. It's hard for you to have a 9 there, but
Yeah.
you gotta.
Gives those of you at home who perhaps haven't yet experienced this sort of situation an opportunity to appreciate all that goes into the home stretch.
$27.
27.
You get to see a professional like Maria
All in.
Call.
try to work her way across that finish line, and we have an all-in
Clubs.
and a call. Silver, with the ace-jack suited, runs into ace-king, and this is dire straits. Maria couldn't ask for much better than this as she plays for the title.
I like the delayed.
Right? It's the suspense. I know. During the WSOP main, it would take like 10 minutes for them to come by, you know?
No clubs. Not good.
So far, so good for ace-king. Silver with just 3 outs, no club on board. And even if he makes aces and jacks, Maria with a redraw to Broadway. And there is the jack. Right on cue. Now, Maria, the one in need of help. She does have 10 outs, though. 10 for Broadway. Queen to counterfeit, the king to make a better 2-pair, and instead it's the 7. And Nate Silver with a wildly fortunate outcome there, and believe it or not, he is going to be your new chip leader when the dust settles in this pot. An improbable outcome, but his patience has been rewarded.
257. Total.
With a little bit of luck.
Nice hand.
Yeah, I figured that hand was destined for. I'll take that run good though.
With the jack on the turn, Nate Silver is your new chip leader as a David and Goliath situation plays out in the studio. Let's see if Nate can seal the deal on this 5K sit and go.
Silver holds a 50K edge over Maria now. Effectively level with the blinds at 6 and 12,000. And will we see a gear shift from him here with additional breathing room? Limps the 9-7. King 10 suited, oh so pretty.
38.
There's a 38.
Seeks higher stakes. 9-7. Not in the mood.
It's 27 total.
Maria shoots it up with a garbage bag.
Cool.
Silver. Looking much better with a king 5. 2 spades, 2 aces, and a 9, however. Leaving him with just king high. And how sticky will he be in the face of this 15K c-bet? Spadeless. He comes along. 10 on the turn.
Check. Check.
His second check draws a check back from Maria. And now the running 10s certainly make that king more attractive. Maria with 0 showdown value. Understands to win this pot, it's going to take a bet.
24.
24.
Yes.
24 is just not going to get it done. Snap call from Silver. And he puts some distance now between himself and Maria. There's a look at the GG chip counts. 160K edge now for Nate, as the lug nuts begin to loosen. Oh, and Maria gets no action with that ace-king.
Not sure if that was a good or bad thing for Maria, considering the way she's been running. Stay close. More Poker After Dark after this.
So what kinds of other things are you thinking about doing with your time?
Well, I mean, I've been doing a lot of broadcasting lately, which I love. So I think I'll always want to do that in some form. But over the pandemic, I actually got my real estate license because I kind of wanted to be productive. My parents are real estate. And I'm like, you know what? It'd be nice to like learn something during this time, you know?
So everyone's going to be reaching out to you now who wants to buy a home.
Anybody? I'm really experienced.
Welcome back to Poker After Dark, where this 5K sit and go is in the final throws. Ali Najad with the call, Veronica Brill on the sidelines, and the blinds at 10 and 15,000 now.
30.
Maria Ho at 1 point, a 4-1 chip lead over Nate Silver of 538.com. But now the professional poker player and commentator finds herself behind and is piled on after min raising to 30,000 with an ace-8 suited, and this is uncomfortable. King, queen suited. A dog here. But gets through, and Silver showing off his willingness to be aggressive with great effect.
Sorry.
Jack 9 suited now on the button. A 3-2 chip lead for Nate. Calls the 5K. Maria checks back her king tray. Neither player hits this board. And how aggressive will Nate be? There's your answer. 1 spade and a queen working. Comes out swinging. And Maria not going to dissolve into get there mode. Hangs tough with king high, and a jack right away on the turn for Silver, who checks back just in case he's up against the queen. Backdoor hearts show up, as well as a 10. And can't blame Maria for wanting to fire here and potentially shed a 4 or a 5 as she fires 25K and gets promptly called as king high. No good. And the Silver train rolls on. Heads up, oh so streaky, and a game of momentum, and that momentum currently squarely in Nate Silver's corner as the 1Ks were raced off during the break, and we are left with just 2 denominations now, 5s and 25s. And the lion's share of those chips are in front of Nate, who is now 2-1.
All in.
Wow. Nate with the king 4 suited, just punishing the limp. And the frustration brewing. Nothing Maria hasn't been through before, but obviously it's just as unpleasant now as it was the first time she incurred this sort of downswing and heads-up play.
Well, the man with the day job is looking certainly every bit the pro here in this heads-up match. Stay close to find out if his hot streak will continue.
Poker After Dark is brought to you by Roman. Simple, straightforward, the way healthcare should be. Visit GetRoman.com to learn more. Manscaped. Don't gamble with your grooming tools. Visit Manscaped.com today for the best in men's grooming. And Poker Go. Get in the game at PokerGo.com.
Can Nate Silver complete an improbable comeback and take down the professional? Ten-8 suited for Maria here. Participation imminent. In what form is the question? A limp it is. And a bad spot as well, as Silver has the 10 dominated. Oh, and a 10 high flop. This spells trouble. One-third pot, the sizing here from Maria. The minimum, as modest as it gets.
55,000.
And a check raise to 55K from Silver now.
All in.
All in.
Uh-oh.
I call.
Call.
All in, says Maria. I call, says Nathan. There is the bad news. 10-8. In a world of pain. No backdoor possibilities. Outkicked. And in need of some running cards to a chop. Or an 8 for a victory. The turn card is a deuce. And now, glimmer of hope.
You know, put an ace out there. We'll just chop it up happily, both of us.
Happily.
Happily. So excited. I bet you guys are all excited to stay, keep dealing. Or, you know, a deuce or a 10, a king, a queen, an 8. I'll be
Those
crazy.
are the outs. And a 4 of diamonds doesn't qualify.
Nice playing with you.
Definitely.
Good game.
That was exhausting.
Yeah, are you tired now? You're done?
I am. I need like a drink. Yeah.
Nate Silver is your sit-and-go champion.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the ace jack hand, but
Don't say sorry. It's a part of the game.
$28,500 richer for his effort. And on the other side, Maria Ho picks up $11,500 for hers, but obviously a disappointing outcome for her. And so we go to the official results, brought to you by GGPoker. Once it's in print, you can cash your tickets at the sportsbook. Nate Silver, your champion. Maria Ho, your runner-up. And Veronica Brill, your interviewer, will be standing by with Nate and Maria.
Nate, congratulations on an incredible an incredible comeback and a great win.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Maria, it must have been heartbreaking to see that jack on the turn. It's like you just couldn't get any momentum. Tell me what you were thinking. How were you feeling in that hand?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a very standard situation. Like, obviously, nobody would ever blame Nate for going all in with ace jack there. Of course, I had ace king. I mean, of course, you want the best hand to win when you're the person that could eliminate the other person. But obviously, that's not the way the game works. So it's fine. It happens, and it was a really standard situation, and the cards just didn't go my way that time.
So Nate seemed to be playing really aggressive. What did you think about his play?
Yeah, so I've only played with Nate really once, I think, before this. I'm regretting inviting him a little. I'm just kidding. He's obviously very tough. I kind of already knew that, just judging by what everybody else said about his game who have played with him a lot. And so I'm not surprised to see how he played and the fact that he stayed aggressive. And, I definitely think that he played well and he deserved to win. So,
was there anything that he did that you were not expecting?
To be honest, I would say I knew Nate was pretty good, but he was very sticky. He definitely was tough to get off hands. And sometimes that works out well when you have it, but if you don't, then you probably don't want somebody who, is going to be willing to call you on the river, light. So
with a king high.
I thought he played great, so yeah.
Well, Maria, congratulations.
Yeah.
Nate.
Yeah.
Congrats. That was a great comeback. You clawed your way back.
Yeah.
You were going all in. You were 3-betting. I haven't seen someone play that aggressive in a while. Where did this come from?
So I like being aggressive at poker, but number one, I know Maria is very good. I think she probably has the skill advantage, for sure has a skill advantage. And so I'm taking somewhat higher variance lines. I also don't know heads up strategy super well, so I'm improvising and I think kind of erring on the side of bigger bets, right? And also people might not realize they're 20-minute levels, right? So the blinds go up pretty fast. So we're kind of fairly short stacked and it's hard to make too many mistakes being really aggressive if you're short stacked and think you don't really have a skill edge. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to be sticky, you're trying to be tough. But then I was more willing to play big pots pre-flop than she was, which attests to her skill advantage. But the one time we really got all in pre-flop with the ace jack versus the ace king, then I had a very lucky turn card.
Yeah, it seemed like you were using that short stack to your advantage early on, and then you picked up a lot of momentum with your ace jack.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I can't just be like a shove monkey anymore. Yeah, so you had to kind of adjust a little bit. And there isn't, the thing about heads up too is you don't really have time to step back and make a game plan, right? And I was doing where I'm trying to have a mixed strategy with limps and limp re-raises and shoves and so that was probably more complexity than I really needed. But I don't know. If you're a little unpredictable and you're battling and then you kind of cooler someone a couple times, then that's a recipe for doing really, really well.
Did you feel like you were adjusting more to her or she was adjusting more to you?
There was a great dynamic, right? It's a fun
Yes.
kind of heads up match and you're kind of seeing how people are and also you're adjusting to the stack sizes, right? In heads up, right, all of a sudden you gain more chips if the person loses chips and all of a sudden there are different equilibria that might emerge, I guess. But no, it's really fun. I think heads up is tough. I don't think if we replay that match 100 times I would win all that often, especially with the shorter stack. But it is nice when you come into the heads up portion with the shorter stack, you kind of feel like you have nothing really to lose, right? And that I think it's always helpful.
Well, the algorithm definitely worked, but now I don't know what you're going to do because you're not invited anymore to Maria's games.
This guy, no more. Ringer. Done. No.
I'll give it all back
See you
in
tomorrow.
cash, I'm sure.
And she did interview before the entire time, so that was interesting. So congratulations. It was a great win. It was a great heads-up battle. I loved watching it, and you guys both did a great job. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Back to you, Ali.
Next time on Poker After Dark,
Look at that.
Look at that. She takes it down.
the cash games are back
Raise.
Who's got the worst poker face?
as Jennifer Tilley takes the stage.
How can I fold?
Jamie Lillywhite looks for revenge.
All in.
And Frank Stepuchin plays chicken with Ellie Alezra.
I wanted Nate's money, not yours.
Thank you.